Brought to you in part by Monadnock Flooring and Decorating, offering quality sales, service, and installation for over 35 years on Production Avenue next to Subaru of Keene. Hey everybody, welcome to A Culinary Journey. I'm Luca Paris, and yes, I am not in my studio at Monadnock Flooring. You know why? We're going to be talking about honey, and I want to get some honey. And why go to the supermarket shelf when you have honey right in your own backyard? That's right, Jodi Turner is going to help me out getting some honey from these beehives while I'm in full bee garb, and it's going to be beautiful. Yeah, I know it's too many bee jokes, but you know what? We're going to have a great time. We'll make a couple of nice dishes. I'll get to try a nice smoothie, a gazpacho with honey and cantaloupe, and so much more. And your culinary journey with our friends the bees starts now. Hey, how's it going?
It's going great, Luca.
This is a lot of fun.
We ran into each other a few weeks ago and you said, hey, I love bees. I would love to drink a smoothie. So we started a smoothie thing. And we'll have a little smoothie, I think, later on anyway. But today, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the hives.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and try to see what we see and get you a little bit more familiar with what it takes to make honey. Yeah. For that smoothie, or for that gazpacho, or for whatever we want to make.
Let's make that today.
Yeah.
We'll make that later on, but now we have to pick up our honey.
Right, right. So I want to show you.
I'm scared.
We're just going to go into the hive, no problem.
No, yeah, that's just, this is the way I wanted to get dressed up today. This is all I was thinking.
I like the white look. You're usually in black.
Usually in black, yeah.
White is a nice touch.
It's the good guy look.
The reason that he's wearing white today is because, hard as it is to believe, all they can see is his mustache and that little black screen in front of you.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's
you're an invisible man.
It's never happened to me in my life. Whether it be size or sound of voice, no one's ever been able to say that to me.
Oh, yeah. So, this is cool. All right, so.
You think so? I'm scared to death back here.
So we're going to go into a Langstroth hive. The Langstroth style is the ones that you see in everybody's backyards. They're up and down. They've got 10 frames in each hive body. A hive body looks like, I've been told before, a drawer, but they're really a box. And they've got frames in them so that the bees can draw out comb on each of the frames, and then they can put the eggs or the, sorry.
No, keep going. That's great. I didn't know it was that type of show. Is that what the bees, so that?
They like the smoke. Oh no, they don't like the smoke.
Does the smoke like get them really kind of mellow?
Well, it makes them think that possibly there's a forest fire. And it also masks our scent, because as much as we don't think about it, you didn't put like cologne on or anything. Yeah,
it's just what I wanted to do when I came to see you.
Yeah, so the bees can pick up on your smell, so that's why we use the smoke to mask our scent sometimes.
I thought it was something totally different. I thought they were like in college going, dude, this is the best stuff ever.
Well, you know, I think the drones might be doing that because those are the boys. And you know what they do the best?
What's that?
Well, one thing they really do best is, fertilize the queen. But the other thing that they do best is eat.
Right.
So yeah, maybe that smoke and the eating, So anyway, long story short, let's get into the hives. We're going to open up the hive and see what we see here. You know, we're going to see some worker bees. We're going to see some drones. Drones are the boys.
Right.
Hopefully we'll see a queen. If we don't see the queen, it's okay. She's busy. She's only got 1,000 eggs to lay a day, so it's no
I have
big
a queen
deal.
at home. I don't need another.
That's right. That's right. And there's only one queen in the hive, so remember that.
Oh, trust me, I know.
All right. So I think today what we're going to do is we're going to go into this hive here.
Really? Do we have to?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Better, it's like baptizing.
It's that much better than store-bought honey, right?
Oh, it is delicious. You wouldn't believe it.
All right, let's do it. Let's go into the hive.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside the cover here, put a little bit of smoke, let them know that we're coming in. And then we're going to lift this off.
Oh, there's nothing in there. That's perfect.
This is a pretty
You scared me for nothing.
Yeah, this is a pretty weak hive right now.
Oh, yeah, it's so weak. Wow, this is pretty interesting.
This is a great hive for teaching. So I'm just going to pull out a frame or two to give us some space.
So how much honey can one beehive make, or what's?
You can make 50 to 100 pounds of honey.
50 to 100 pounds of honey?
Uh-huh.
One
hive.
No,
one hive.
One hive.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
So what you're seeing
There's
here.
a lot of bees there.
That's nothing. Nothing.
Seriously.
No. So Luca, if you want, you can hold that.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what you're seeing. So if you want to show the folks at home what we're seeing here.
How's that? Did I do all
That's
right?
great. That's great. So what I'm going to show them at home is this stuff over here. So they're in these cells here. You're seeing some honey here. So we will be able to put our finger in there a little bit later.
Yay.
And, and then there is nectar in here, and that nectar will turn into honey. It's kind of like sap to syrup. So what they're doing is they're reducing the water content, and so that's why it tastes so sweet, because it's all sugar, just like you would have sap being boiled off.
So they're their own boiling system.
They are, and what they do is they fan it so that they take out all of the excess water.
So it's like a dehydration mode.
It is, it is.
So,
and it's pretty moist in the hives because they put off a lot of heat.
Right, so when you're talking about that, how much pollen, sap, whatever they need to collect to create how much honey, what's that ratio? Is there
You know
one?
what, it's like sap, I think it's like that 40 pounds. 40
40 to
pounds
1?
of this does this. 40 pounds of this does that. So about, I believe it's like 40 pounds of, or maybe it's...
It could be somewhere. There's bees
anyway, it's a
all
lot.
over. You don't have to worry about the math right now. I'm just saying.
No, but it's a lot. You know, each bee in its lifetime, because they live in the summer about 42 days or so,
right.
It will only make about a 1/16 of a teaspoon of honey. So when you look at a jar of honey, you look at this jar that we have here, which we will use later. This jar is a lot of energy.
Well, yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, this isn't even a teaspoon. I mean, a teaspoon at a time, and then like 1,000 teaspoons. This is a lot of energy in this jar.
So I just want to show something. I don't know if Ernie could get that. There's this bee right over here with his head stuck in a honeycomb. Can you even see that, Ernie? And so I guess is he putting bee, hello, where'd you go?
I'm
you
right
left
here.
me alone with these. Don't you ever do that again.
You're doing fine.
You see that? You see that one with his head stuck in there? No,
cleaning out this, well, like this one here.
Oh, this one up here, yeah.
Cleaning out the cell or adding nectar. So that what they're doing is they're going to fill those up, and then once they're full, they're going to cover it with this wax coating here, and that is honey that is fine. I mean, that's ready to be eaten.
Look at that.
I know, isn't that awful?
And they don't get upset when you do that?
Well, I mean, would you want them coming into your house?
Okay, and you want me to put my finger in there?
No, and they're totally fine. But that is honey right there. So we could just stick our finger in and.
How can I do that?
Well, we'll do it a little bit later.
Later?
I want to show you a little bit more about the hive.
All right.
Because you are my student today.
I'm your student today.
Yes.
More stuff about hives.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
so we're going to go into a frame that has a little bit more going on.
Okay. It doesn't need to be anymore. Oh my goodness.
This isn't that bad. But you know what you can see here? This is really cool. I know that it might not be cool to you.
Yeah, no, it's very cool.
But in here, there's little white larvae. Can you see those?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that more bees?
More bees. So there's a queen in here. She's laying eggs, and those look like drone combs. So the way that they set up their frames is they'll have their brood, which is the babies in the middle, and then they set up kind of like the nursery around it. So they'll have pollen around the edge and then honey around the very, very edges. The honey is for the adults, and the pollen and the nectar mixture is a bee bread, and that's for the babies.
Huh. So I mean, they're really sophisticated in the way the society works.
They really are. And you know, I started beekeeping about 10 years ago, and I just thought, oh, they're really cool. But the more you learn about them, the more you understand what they do, when they do it in their lifetimes, it's really amazing. And to think that they can make that much honey, I mean, when we do this is one hive body, okay? Usually the brood is going to be in 2 of these, and then you can put 6 or 7 or 8 more hive bodies on top. They're a little bit more shallow, but those can all be filled with honey. I mean, these guys are overachievers like crazy.
Now, here's the thing.
And here's the queen.
Oh, hey, there it is. You said you could pick it out.
She's right there. Can you see her?
No, I totally see her.
You can see the difference there?
Yeah.
She's doing a great job. And, you know, this is a really, really young hive. So, you know, this isn't even as full as it really would be in the middle of the summer. It's pretty early on this hive, and this is probably about half as many bees as you would see on this frame, but the rest of those would be filled as well.
Okay, so it's per frame, it'd be double the amount that's here.
Right, right.
And how do they just walk over each other? They just kind of move around each other?
Yeah, and you know what they do is they touch each other as they move along. So they have this pheromone that they put off, and that's how they communicate. Because if you think about it, we're pulling these out and it's light, but in a hive, it's not light,
pitch
it's
black
dark.
almost,
right.
yeah.
So what they do is they do little dances. Sometimes, you know, you won't see it so much right now because it's later in the day, but they'll go out and they'll communicate as to where to go for food and different things like that so that they get the best nectar. And, you know, they don't, it's nice when you have like one, yeah, you got it.
There she
Keep
is.
pointing on her. Yep.
Yeah, there she goes.
Yeah. So
very cool.
If you have one flower in your yard, that's good, but they want a whole field of clover or, you know, whatever you have. So I'm going to ask you to pull this frame out if you want.
Yeah, no. Wait, how do I pull it out? I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. What you're going to do is you're going to pry this up.
Well, let me just tell you something. The best part about this is that they can't see the panic that's on their face. And then pick it up like that?
Yeah, just hold like right
hold
there.
Like there.
Yeah. And then you just hold that side and I'll get the other side for you. Okay. And look at, we haven't even used the smoker. Look at how gentle these guys are.
Yeah, they're so gentle.
They are.
It's because I'm invisible.
This one doesn't have the queen on it, but it's got larvae in here again. You can
see
those white larvae.
Does the
all of those white
queen
ones.
go ahead and do larvae in almost every, what is it
Usually
called?
in the center, in the center of the frames, she will. Yep.
So she just jumps back and forth between the two.
Right, and I mean, she's only laying 1,000 eggs a day, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, she's just like a woman, another overachiever.
Yeah.
Just doing too much in one day.
Right, right, right.
They don't play video games, do they?
No, but that's all she does. She just lays eggs. She has attendant bees that will feed her. They'll take care of her. Yep, anything that she needs, they're going to be there for her. Now this
be there for her.
This comb here is all drawn out by them. So what we do is we start with this foundation, and what they'll do is they have little wax glands on their body. So what they'll do is they'll take that nectar, and it goes through their body, and it's almost like little sweat glands.
Okay, so this is where the comb part, they made themselves. All you had was a wire and a wood frame.
Wire and wood and this little thin piece of foundation.
Okay.
But what they're doing is they're going to draw it out. So like
this
was flat at one time, and now it's drawn out so that they can put their babies in it and their nectar and different things like that.
When you say this is a young hive, what's a young hive?
Young hive means it's weak. It just got started. We probably started this with a nuke box, which is 5 frames of bees, and it's only been in here for maybe 2 weeks or so. So by the next month or so, this hive will have another hive body right up on top of it.
Really?
Yes.
So okay, one last thing.
Yeah.
These are honeybees?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're called, or is
these are honeybees.
How do you know what a honeybee is, and what does a bumblebee do that a honeybee doesn't? Do they collect honey too?
They do, but they're solitary bees. So a bumblebee will grow its hive in the ground, and it only has maybe 100 bees on it.
Oh, okay.
And it won't fly quite as far as a honeybee will, because a honeybee will fly 3 to 5 miles. Bumblebee will stay more like 1 mile, 2 miles. But the other good thing about a bumblebee, although it doesn't make the abundance of honey like these guys do, the bumblebee will go out and pollinate in the rain, in the wind, in the cold. These guys, it has to be 50 degrees or so. They'll fly before that, but 50 degrees or so, and it can't be raining. Yep.
Pretty incredible. So how do we get some honey for the show?
Okay, so what I think we ought to do is we'll just take this frame in, and we'll just have you put your finger in all of this, and then we'll just put it in the food.
Well, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I'm already there.
Yeah. No. We have honey that we've already extracted.
Cool.
But if you'd like, you can take off one of your gloves.
And this is why I get paid the big bucks by Cheshire TV. I'm just letting you know. Ernie, you got this one? There you go, buddy.
Okay. And then we'll just have you.
I didn't need you.
We'll have you pull this up when you put your finger in.
Yeah, when I put my finger in? Yeah, I think so. Not before.
So let me just smoke this away.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Dude, here she is again with the smoke.
I know. It'll just move them away. So you can just stick your finger right in there.
Just put it in there?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Hold on.
Yep.
Look at that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And with the comb and everything?
Yep. Put it right in your mouth.
Oh, this is exciting.
Does it taste like real honey?
That is incredible.
Isn't that sweet? And the taste is so much stronger.
Oh,
I mean,
my goodness.
It just, I don't know, it's a different flavor than when you go to the
whole new
store and
world.
get some store-bought honey that's not local. You know, there's a lot of beekeepers in the area. There's like a lot of beekeepers in the area. You just have no idea.
I got to tell you, it's like the best sugar I've ever put in my mouth.
Yeah. Sometimes we feed our bees
What do you feed
sugar.
them? Oh, sugar.
And they were saying that sugar has gone up like 3 times.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, you know, I would imagine that more people are going to be starting to think about honey, and that will probably increase the cost for honey as well. But at least we have another sugar source, you know, so you don't have to have...
But that is incredible. That little amount of sugar, it felt like I was eating candy. I mean, that's how good it was. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take off, should I take off my hat?
You can, yeah,
Really?
I think so.
I want to see if people can see me in here. Oh, wait, I'm
This
all...
really is Luca.
It's not just a voiceover of somebody
right.
here. Wow, that was incredible.
Yeah.
All
And,
right.
you know, we didn't use much smoke, and, you know, the bees are all pretty relaxed. You've seen where the honey comes from, and this is what we're going to be using for the...
So this is the best thing we could do.
recipes. Yeah.
We should go back to Monadnock, Florida. We'll put together a couple of recipes,
Sounds
show
great.
everybody all about them,
Yeah.
and then we'll just have a great time.
I can't wait.
All right.
All right.
See you back at
We'll
the
see you.
studio. Hey everybody, welcome back. Hey, now we're in my backyard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like a backyard, but
This is as backyard as I get.
Yes. You're
So
good.
that was a fun time out there.
That was.
Yeah,
I hope you
scary
enjoyed
but
it.
fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Part of the fear factor was gone when I had the mask thing on. What's that called?
The veil.
The veil. It was a veil. I was a bride. All right, so we
And you
need
were
to.
wearing white. Yes.
I was.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, that's the last time I wore it. So we're gonna make something with your honey.
Yes.
First of all, we'll do it in the next segment. We're gonna make a drink that you gave me at the end
A little
of the day.
smoothie.
Yeah,
Yep.
beautiful. That's a little smoothie with some flaxseed and some cool stuff, and of course honey. Hello?
Definitely.
And it's
Yep.
your honey. It's the
It
well,
is.
not yours. It's their honey.
It's their honey.
The bee honey,
Yeah.
and you.
I'm an enabler.
Yes, you are. And then we're gonna make a gazpacho.
Delicious.
I mean, when you think about great things that you could have in the summertime and just fresh, and then not worrying about having to cook, and if you've been out all day, making a gazpacho nice and bright and vibrant. Now we're going to play a little bit. We're going to do a little cantaloupe instead of the tomatoes. I'm actually going to add some strawberries, so it's going to give sweetness. But actually, this won't be a sweet gazpacho. It's going to have a little bite to it.
It's got a little bit of this and that.
Right. We're going to have some peppers and everything, and then of course a little bit of acid from the lemon juice. So we have to get that started right away. Now we're doing 2 parts of it. You're going to cut basically a small dice. It's going to be the chunky part of our gazpacho.
Okay.
So cut up, really small cubes.
Yep.
I'll say fine dice is the best way. And then we're going to do the same thing with the cantaloupe. Now the cantaloupe is basically, like I said, replacing the tomato, which is the fruit in the gazpacho anyway. It's not overly sweet, and you can pretty much do a gazpacho with anything. It's just a matter of doing it as a balance, and I think that's the biggest key is with anything, having fun or eating or whatever you do, it's all about balance, right?
Right.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut this down while you cut. Oh, good job. You're right. You do know what to do in the kitchen.
And left-handed.
And you're left-handed. Perfect.
Hey, this works out really well, doesn't it?
I was just thinking about it. That works out great. So I'm going to pull the skin off of here, which I should have done first, but I got so excited about you cutting there. So how many years you been doing the bee thing?
Oh, about 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're learning every day, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's
And
amazing.
but each hive, do they act differently?
Oh, yeah.
It
all
it's like a
depends on the
different
queen.
society?
Yeah, it all depends on the queen, but they all have a common goal, and that is to survive and to prosper and make honey and more babies. So, yeah, it's amazing when you see, I think we talked about it yesterday a little bit, or earlier, but
Whenever we were there.
whenever we were there. But it takes so much energy to make honey. It's just incredible. So when you even take a spoonful of honey, that is the work of probably a dozen bees for their entire lifetime.
And their
So
lifetime
one
is?
spoon. In the summer, it's about 42 days.
Okay,
Yep. So one little scoop like this.
It's really, you got to give them thanks, because if
Oh,
they didn't
yeah.
do that, you would have no honey.
Right.
And
And you would have no mead. Mead is one of the first alcoholic drinks that they used to have.
And I remember drinking that on the ship while across to the United States.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I had meat.
Mead is delicious, though.
Is it, though?
Oh, it is. It's got a lot of sugar in it.
All right. And that's the one thing, when I tasted the honey, the first thing I said to you is, it tastes like candy. It was so incredibly sweet and rich, and it was just tremendous. So I'm going to take this, we'll put this in a bowl.
Okay.
We'll get that going. And let's get a pepper cut too. Why don't you do that? While you're cutting the pepper, what I'm going to do is in here I have my cantaloupe, right? And now I need a little bit of yogurt because we need to add some yogurt. Now you brought me some yogurt, didn't you?
Yeah, this is vanilla yogurt though, so you might want to try the kefir instead.
No, I'll put both of those.
You're gonna put, because this is going to be sweet anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, vanilla's good.
Yeah,
because vanilla
and this
just adds flavor.
this is a local yogurt.
Yeah.
This is Stonewall Farms yogurt. Yep.
I'm putting a little lemon juice for the acidity. I want to balance that out. And we'll put some yogurt in there. We got to give it a little bit of body. That's our liquid. And the same thing with the natural honey is no preservatives or anything in there.
Right.
The same thing goes for the yogurt. We're getting, it's not about eating organic. It's not about eating like what's the best quality. Sometimes it's just about eating what's local because that's always better, right? And that's the better quality just naturally. So it's just staying with that local thing. We'll add a little salt and pepper in here. We'll add some fresh cilantro.
My favorite.
Yeah, I love cilantro. Me too. And then we'll add it all together because we're going to blend that up. That's going to be beautiful in there.
And do you want a whole pepper or just a half?
Well, we'll do about a half a pepper because we'll see where we go in there. I'm going to add a couple of strawberries into this. And then I need a little hot sauce. You see that hot sauce right next to you?
Right here.
All right, and we're going to need, of course, what's the last ingredient that I need?
Honey.
Honey. And you said about the flaxseed?
Yes.
You're going to make me that smoothie later?
I am.
And this is almost like a smoothie, right?
It really is. It is.
So let's get the honey in there too. But how do you get honey out of there? Because I've always had trouble with the spoon
Well,
thing.
you take one of these little...
Yeah, the beehivey thing?
Yeah.
How much hot stuff do you like?
I like it hot.
You do? Okay.
I do.
So it's just stirring it like that. And by doing that?
It should come off. I'll just grab a little bit more. How much do you want?
Oh, I need a good amount.
Okay, like a quarter cup?
That's good. That's good. Perfect. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. Yeah. It's going to add some nice flavor, again, some nice sweetness. And then you said you like it hot?
I do.
There you go.
I do.
I think I almost lost that whole thing. All right. All right, let's put this bad boy on here and get this kind of, this is going to be the broth of our soup. There you go. And we'll get this going.
So there's lots of different types of gazpacho.
Yeah, so gazpachos is not all about, you could do a grape gazpacho or a white gazpacho. You could do, of course, what most people think of as a tomato gazpacho. Basically, it's taking vegetables and fruits in certain cases and just blending them all together. So you get this great flavor. So that's what we're doing here.
In this case, it's not like a smoothie where everything is blended completely. This is nice because you can taste all the different fruits and vegetables that you put in here.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to put those in there also, and we're going to. And what's great is you could garnish this. Let's say you do want shrimp or something else on top of it. Some grilled shrimp on top of a gazpacho is absolutely wonderful. So you got that. We need a green pepper.
Okay.
I'm going to get some of these shallots in here, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to start cutting this down. We'll get this little guy so it's really well blended. It's right there. We'll let that blend up. When we come back, we'll put together our gazpacho. And we'll try that, and then when we come back, we'll finish off the day by trying out your smoothie.
Right.
Sounds good. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Jodi, having fun?
I am.
Yeah?
I love good food.
I love it. So do I. It works out well for both of us. So we spent the day in your backyard, and we came back to my backyard to kind of finish it off by cooking. And one of the things that you keep telling me about is this amazing, and I tried it out on my radio show, this amazing smoothie. Yeah, it's a cool smoothie using honey and some other stuff. And she's going to make that, but before she makes that, we've added pretty much we have peppers and cucumbers, and we have some shallots in here. I pureed all our other ingredients with the local yogurt, the local honey, and we have some great stuff going on here. And thanks to the bees and the cows for helping us out today. Yeah. Without them, the show wouldn't happen,
That's right.
And I'm going to just fine ice this. Tell me about the smoothie. Make it up for me.
This is a smoothie that we make every morning, and I make something called kefir, which is a little bit like yogurt. It's white, just like yogurt. And so you've got yogurt here and kefir here. Kefir is made with raw milk or any kind of milk that you want to use, and then it's got a starter. So what it is it's a fermented drink. So what we do, because it's a probiotic, we start with that and put a little bit of kefir in.
Probiotic meaning?
It helps you fight off bad things that can happen to your body.
Cool.
So, yeah. So it can't hurt.
Could have helped me when I fell off my bike today, right?
Oh, you fell off your bike. Oh. So Sorry about that. This will help. This will help.
Will it?
It'll help you heal. So what we do is we put our banana in, and let me see, we put some raspberries in. These are frozen raspberries. It makes it nice because it's nice and cold. And this one's going to be really good because it's got lots of raspberries.
It acts as the ice cubes, right?
That's right.
And then if you're picking raspberries or blueberries or whatever type of berry fruit, you can freeze them.
Oh, yeah.
Throw them into your smoothies.
Yeah, blueberries, strawberries, whatever's in season.
Yeah.
My favorite is raspberries, but whatever you want to try, it's great. So I'm going to put a little bit more of the yogurt in. Look at that. That looks so delicious. And I've tried this Stonewall Farm vanilla yogurt, and it is delicious. So the other thing I'm going to add is cinnamon.
Okay.
Cinnamon is really good for you, too.
Right.
Same kind of properties as, you know, like honey and different things like that. And then a little bit of flaxseed powder.
Is that 8 ingredients and all?
Yeah, and you know what? I just put in what I've got.
Right.
You know, so if I want to use it, I use it. And then the most important ingredient is the honey.
Of course it is.
Ooh, that's a lot of honey. But that is definitely going to be delicious. So I'm just going to put the cover on. This is so simple. You know, I started this because I had a hard time eating breakfast. And so this made it so simple that I could eat and run.
You almost think you're too busy to eat breakfast, right?
Probably. To sit down? Oh my gosh, I couldn't do that in the morning.
I wouldn't know what that was.
No.
Yeah.
So then we just mix it up. Oh, these are
they're going to go together really well.
Yeah.
So while she's mixing that up, what I basically did with the two mixtures we had, we actually took our vegetables and we put our little blend of yogurt and then the cantaloupe and then the cilantro and then the hot pepper sauce and this really nice bite and flavor and sweetness to kind of meld together. And again, it's a big thing about balance. I mean, you can take 8 different flavors, right? And you could throw them all together, but if they're not balanced, your meal's not going to be balanced. So hot for the sake of hot doesn't work. Sweet for the sake of sweet doesn't work. You kind of marry those two together, all of a sudden you have this incredible flavor. And that's what it's all about. So what we've done here is exactly that. Now with a gazpacho, what I love doing with a gazpacho is something like this. It's letting it sit for a while. This 2 to 3 hours from now, chilled in the refrigerator, all the flavors really combine. It's absolutely wonderful. Right. So we're going to taste. Here's your spoon. Yeah. You wanted the bigger spoon? No, you get that spoon now. You don't think I heard that? Oh. And then we have all our flavors right there. And it's like a crunch.
That is so good.
And if you want to make it a meal, put some shrimp on it or whatever.
This reminds me of roti, which is a Indian yogurt dish with mint and things like that. This is delicious.
Yeah, and mint would go great in here too.
Yeah.
So, and then we have our smoothie.
Yeah.
And we started in your backyard, ended in my backyard.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's like taking great flavors from the land, you know, bringing them back into the kitchen and having fun with it and having fun together. Yeah. Had a great time?
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I hope you had a good time. And we'll see you next time on A Culinary Journey. Cheers. Brought to you in part by Monadnock Flooring and Decorating, offering quality sales, service, and installation for over 35 years on Production Avenue next to Subaru of Keene.